You never know what you're going to see on 3+U. This is an American toad. Can you recognize the hand that's holding it? Or the giggle?
Hey!
It's Tish Gilmard from Reflection Writings. You know what? I thought when you were coming, I thought, oh, she's going to have an owl or your possum or a hawk.
Right.
You never brought a toad.
I pulled out something different today. I grabbed her because she's getting ready to go into brumation. And so that's loosely the reptile form of hibernation. So it's obviously getting very cold, and she's getting ready to go down in a hiberniculum and hang out for the winter, and we're not going to see her for a while. So I wanted everyone to see her. I'm crazy about these animals. They're so much fun.
Okay, I have a few questions to ask you. First of all, the difference between a toad and a frog. Toads are not slimy, is that correct?
Correct. And really, frogs are not either. They can, frogs are usually more smooth skinned, but not always. Toads are bigger like this, and you can see she has a lot of bumps on her.
Yeah.
And you know, there's that old myth that if you touch one, you're going to get a wart, and that is exactly that, a myth. It's not true.
Does she typically, would you find her like in the woods?
Yes.
Is she a tree?
She's not a tree, she's a ground dweller. So she's
dweller.
terrestrial, and she's going to be hunkered down in the leaves, and then she likes to sit in water and soak up water. She soaks everything through her skin. And believe it or not, this is really cool defense mechanism. If she feels like she's getting ready to be eaten, she can blow air into her body and make herself bigger appearing than she really is.
That's cool, like a pufferfish.
Yeah,
or something.
so it makes it harder for an animal to get her in her mouth. And then right behind her eyes, she has a little small circle, and in that area, she can actually emit a toxin. And that toxin is toxic to some species, some predators. And so they put her in their mouth, and then she emits that toxin, and they're like,
oh,
that's awful, I'm gonna spit you back out.
Now you said you were kind of watching her closely because you've got her pointing towards the cameras. Thank you.
Yes.
Not me. Because if she decides to jump, she can go kind of far.
Yeah.
How far does she jump?
She can probably jump at least a foot to 2 feet.
Oh, that's pretty good.
pretty sizable. I mean, look at those back legs.
Now, is she full grown?
She's full grown, and this
a
is,
little
yeah,
girl.
she's really moving around. This is a female, and the females are larger than the males in the toad world, much like in the raptor world. I'm just crazy about them. They're full of personality, and they are
Personality?
oh my gosh. She'll meet you. When you open the door to her enclosure, she's like right there looking. What do you got? Hey, how are you today?
Really?
Yeah, they're just full of personality. I love them.
I tell people all the time about your animals and how they love you, and that green snake that used to kiss you on the
Yes.
cheek. And people always will go, okay, Julie, but I think claiming that a snake has personality is a bit much. And I say, no.
It's true. They do. They really do. Every animal has a very distinct personality. And when you work with them all the time, you really see it. Not unlike your dogs and cats and other things you have at home.
Let's talk shop a little bit.
Yeah.
End of year giving one and memberships for
Oh
Christmas
my gosh,
presents.
memberships are the best Christmas presents. Get a family membership, and what's really cool is it's a year-long gift, and we have reciprocity to several hundred other nature centers and botanical gardens around the country.
Right.
So you could potentially get in free, or you could get a discount. If you're a member with us, you get free admission to Atlanta Botanical Garden.
Which is, if you've ever been there, it's a fantastic place.
It's spectacular. And what you would pay for a membership is what you would pay for a day entry to Atlanta Botanical. So it's a huge, huge benefit.
And can you do that often throughout the year, or is it like a one-time visit?
It's often.
Okay. How long will she live? What's their lifespan?
Well, I've had one live about 8 to 10 years under human care, which is really long. I think she was kind of exceptional. This one we've just had a couple of years now.
If you see one in a walk in the woods, you mentioned they're going into, is it brumation?
Brumation,
that
right.
means that we won't see them until spring?
You won't see them till spring. They're going to hide out in a hiberniculum, which could be a leaf pile, log pile, rock pile, cave, and they're just going to lay low for the winter. They don't eat for the winter. They might get up and move around a little bit, might get a little drink of water, but they are just super sleepy and sluggish.
So, leaves are still on the trees.
Yes.
They're going to start to fall in the winter. Then you get those pretty days in in February where you want to go out and rake, you might disturb some.
Yes.
Leave them
and
alone if that happens.
The rule is leave the leaves, because down in the leaves are animals like these that are brumating, but then additionally, there are all kinds of small insects that spend their winter in the leaves, and then they'll come out in the summer, in spring and summer.
She heard you. She looked up.
She's got her foot on my hand.
That is so. I have one frog story. I was in college. I interned at this television station in Atlanta. It was a late night talk show thing that I helped with, like David Letterman in Atlanta, and they had like their own version of Mark Twain's jumping frog contest.
Oh, how fun!
And they brought these bullfrogs in,
giant,
humongous, and I had to corral these ginormous bullfrogs. I squealed like a girl on the air. It was horrible. They were slimy. I don't care what you say. But she's kind of cute. Does she have a name?
We just call her Mrs. Toad.
Mrs. Toad. She's pretty. She feels good to touch.
Yeah.
All right. You keep being sassy, Mrs. Toad. Here's where you can go to learn more. reflectionwriting.org. What a great gift gift to give, as you heard Tish say, and also think about them for end of year giving.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
A simple step can lead to unexpected consequences. Navigating the